Well, hello again and welcome to my channel. I'm Fraser from Metalworking in France. I've got a little project on today. A gentleman has brought me a drawing. It's for some sort of special purpose machine. He supplied the rod. As you can see, it's got it has got a thread on it, like an Acme type thread. I've got to machine both ends of this thing. One bit is going to take a bearing on one end at this end, as you can see, and it's going to have an undercut for a circlip. On this end, I've got a special thread I've got to put on. It's I think it's 15mm. I can't see it very well in the picture, but what is it? I can't see what size it says it is. Let me have a look on here. Be a lot easier if I read it myself. The thread is M15 by 1mm pitch on the thread, which is pretty fine. So obviously I don't have a die to make that, so I'll have to machine it on the lathe itself. So anyway, I've got a couple of other dimensions or diameters to turn down. I believe there's some sort of bearing on this end as well. So let's get on and do that. I don't have to machine the rest of it, it's already done. So follow me in the next few frames and see how this job progresses. And in the meantime, please don't forget to subscribe to my site or my channel and to share, obviously. Okay, so see you in the next few frames. So the first thing I need to do is start machining the bearing end. I didn't realise when I first started this job that these rods were actually hardened, or at least probably case hardened, which is sometimes actually more difficult to machine than fully hardened steel, because obviously you don't need to temper it back so much with case hardening, whereas with fully hardened steel you need to temper back quite considerably, otherwise it gets too brittle. But anyway, you have to excuse the quality of the video. I'm afraid the camera obviously wasn't focusing very well on this operation. But anyway, we'll get this down to the size and that should be okay in the end. So now I'll continue machining the longer end. As you can hear, the machine or the tool is making some horrible noises, basically because it's an intermittent cut with it being a thread. So it's not doing the tool any good either, because obviously during this operation I will need to use several replaceable tips, because they will get chipped and damaged and obviously be no longer of any use. So, but I've just got to persevere with it until I get down to, or basically to a nice smooth edge, and then it won't be quite so damaging on the tool itself. So we'll just keep pursuing this. I'll get there in the end if I just got to be careful. I can't take too heavy a cut, but at the same time I can't take a very light cut, because with it being hardened, you do have to actually cut the material. If you don't put enough pressure on the tool to take a decent cut, all you do is end up rubbing it, and then obviously that just burns the tool away as well. So as you can see, I'm now down to a nice smooth area or parallel diameter. Take this down to the 15mm diameter that it needs to be. So now I'll just turn down the smaller diameter. It's only got to go down to about 12mm. I'm not sure what this diameter is meant for, but it won't take too long to do this. So now here I've started the process of cutting the thread. As you can see, I have speeded this up because you can't cut threads that quickly on the lathe. It just doesn't work. So anyway, I'll put blue on it so that I can see where the thread is going. It's just a felt, a felt tip pen, just to give me some colour, so I can see where the thread is being formed. So yeah, it's coming on quite nicely actually. I can only take very small cuts, again because the steel is hardened or has a hardened casing on it. It's very difficult to machine it. So I'm hoping this thread is going to turn out quite nice. It looks good. Well, there you are. Nice little job in the end. Quite tricky trying to cut this thread on the end. As you can see, I'm trying to keep it focused. Quite a fine thread, 15mm diameter with a 1mm pitch. So quite a fine thread really for that size. These things turned out to be hardened in the end, so they were quite tricky to work on. As I say, I was using a carbide tip tool all the time. And with these things sticking out of the chuck quite a bit, they did vibrate quite considerably. But I managed to get there in the end. It was a lot more work than I originally anticipated. But the only trouble is with a job like this, once I start, because the customer has supplied the original material, once I start the job and I've started machining it, I've got to try and finish it. But anyway, finishing it I did. And it was tricky in the end, but a lot more work than I originally anticipated. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Look out for more videos in the future, and obviously look back at some of my videos in the past. And I'll hope to see you in the next video. Okay, so in the meantime, I'll bid you farewell. Goodbye.